course had a few name changes, but let's take a look at Water Gap. They opened the doors to us and even showed some of their golf history that they're still maintaining.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I drove 2 hours, so I figured if you got anything to look at, that. Thank you, man. I appreciate this.
I want to see what you got.
This is like the history cabinet thing.
And it's a Tillinghast design course, so you know the professor has to come out here and take a look for himself. And then there's the interesting history where a lot of the residents in this area were upset that it turned into a rehab.
Golf course owner in the Poconos wants to convert the clubhouse into a drug and alcohol rehabilitation facility. The future of Wolf Hollow.
And that was the original name, Wolf Hollow, and it's changed names, it's Water Gap now, but there's a historical course that was completed in 1922, all 18 holes.
Be to reduce the course from 18 holes to 9 to allow for a buffer between the facility, the course, and the community.
Let's take a look at this executive now 9-hole golf course that's open to the public and used to be extremely private. Oh my God, is that a telephone booth?
Yeah, if you look inside, it has everything to know about the town, the guy that designed the course.
Impressed by this golf course already. Look at this.
And there's a lot to be impressed by. Walter Travis also helped design this course. Some big names in golf when golf was first getting popular. And here, there's a lot of history that needs to be figured out what they're doing with it. If they're going to stay in the route of a golf course, or are we going to break in and say, hey, let's try to turn this into a historical landmark because of the historical factors of this golf course. We're going to talk all about it on this episode.
You want to crawl under there, you are more than welcome to.
You don't mind. I got another shirt anyway. That's so cool with the telephone booth, man.
Yeah.
Why? So you guys will eventually put this out.
Yeah, yep.
And the course is one of the oldest golf courses in America, built by A.W. Tillinghast and fellow golf designer Robert White came in, designed this course, which was a private facility and pretty much exclusive. You had Shawnee not too far from here, and then you had this private course. Now, Robert White was credited for pretty much designing this course. He was originally born in Scotland. He tried out for a few U.S. Opens, so he was a pretty good golfer. And he also worked at Shawnee, which right down the street. He was a groundskeeper at Shawnee in 1914. There's been a lot of celebrities that have gone through this course when it was during its heyday in the 1920s and 30s, when it was a private facility. A lot of drinking and a lot of fun taking place. Now, I tried to get a tour of the front nine, the original front nine, and because it's affiliated with the wellness center, the rehab, it's no go. Now, if you're gonna walk it, be prepared that first hole gets a little confusing, and because they redesigned it, it's always at the other side of the street, so you end up walking on the street. And the big rule on their website, no alcohol at this facility. So you got the rehab center up here, the original clubhouse, which was the rehab center as well, and then the back nine that hasn't been touched yet. Really, it doesn't make that much sense to me. You can see they have the structure of the golf course still there. They put a fence around it. That putting green surface looks like it's still used. We're gonna go up there and take a look at that original hole that might have been number 10. And you can see that the golf course is still maintained, at least on the back nine. I'm hoping to get a tour of it, but it's very slim because of the restrictions that this place has, being a rehab facility. And of course, there would be some controversy with a change like that. In 2019, the residents from this area kind of were in uproar to turning this golf course into a rehab center. But eventually they turned it into an agreement where 9 holes was open to the public. Back nine, the original back nine of this course are the ones you're playing today. There's hopes that they're gonna open the original front nine, and they still have the layout there on Google Maps, which we'll show right now. Off the bat, you got a long, not that long of a par 4, but you have an opportunity to really bounce off here and still be in the fairway or potentially in the woods. So this is a strategic design course. You could tell that they moved, they got used to the land here, the hills, and they took advantage of that. You still have the stream cutting through the
course, and I tell you what, only 2,530 yards from those back tees with this 9 holes, but it's picturesque. It feels special when you're out here, and I feel like Everyone needs to play this course. It should be a historical landmark. Finding some of that history, just asking one or two questions. They were excited to talk about the history. It's on their website, but we had to go there, figure it out ourselves. What's happening? And we were lucky enough to learn a little bit more about this facility.
Right behind me, it looks like it could be part of the rehab. You can't really tell off the bat. And you can see where they redesigned some of the holes here on number 8. This is one of the holes that are closed. So this hole here is closed. Over here is number 8. So they redesigned some of them in hopes to at least open 9 holes at this facility. You can see just the fairway stopping here. I thought this was the original green. I'm not sure what this is actually. That might be using parts of this for the green. This might be the original green here. Number 9 used to be number 18. Going right back to the clubhouse, you can see it makes sense. Now it's going this way. And the course has a ton of history, being the Eastern Open taking place.
Which was a big deal back then. 30s, the 40s. This was the place to be. Private, exclusive. It went through a lot of changes. But I tell you what, the change that it's going through right now is substantial for its future. There's 1 or 2 folks there just working their butts off, trying to keep up, and they're not making enough to even break even. So hopefully this course figures out a way to power through. Once those other 9 holes go, there's no going back, and hopefully they can maintain the history at this facility. Hats off to them.
Good old Sam himself played this course.